All right. Jim T. Chong, known as the Walk Star, is a master MC, publicist, media personality, and a published best-selling international author. He is also a licensed financial planner, and he is launching the Media and News Channel that is a national network covering news and information about surviving and thriving in the new economy. Jim focuses on helping individuals and organizations increase their visibility and influence through strategic marketing plans by helping them tell their story. That's Jim. In addition to all these credentials and accomplishments, I am proud to introduce Jim as the creator of the Side Hustle Business Marketplace. Let's welcome Jim T. Chong. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jane. Well, thank you so much just for that wonderful introduction. And, I want to just mention that Jane Taff has been really a great business mentor of mine personally. She's kind of kept me on task, and we'll talk about the differences of Jane and myself. But Jane Taff, she's also known as the Sage. She is a leadership and communication trainer and the creator of the new Spark Your Brilliance method of coaching. You're going to hear more about it. It's debuting right here today. And, she's a certified professional life coach and a certified behavior analyst trainer in the DISC method, also personality assessment. And so I just wanted to say, I am so very honored, Jane. I said we will be doing something globally to really impact the world. And here we are. We start with one individual at a time. So we want to welcome everyone to the Side Hustle Business Marketplace. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight today is that we have a lot of things that we need to consider when we talk about the new economy. And one of the things that I just want to start us off with right off the bat is just how the new economy really challenges us to think a little differently. So the question is, what is a side hustle? Jane, what would you say a side hustle is?
A side hustle is not your bread and butter business. It's really that thing you do to add, and I like to say add texture to your life. Some of us may have a regular bread and butter job, whether it be working for the state or you're an engineer. So a side hustle is really that something else. Side hustles can easily become your main hustle, right? We know about that, Jim.
Mhm.
But a side hustle traditionally is known as something that is not your bread and butter yet, but it does help you expand and show your talents, your creativity. This could be your passion project, a hobby turned business, but a side hustle is mainly categorized as not your main income source.
Yeah, and that is really true. That's why it's a side hustle. And one of the things I want us to think about here is that the side hustle, what happens when you engage in a side hustle? You increase your skill set, you become better at something. And that's what I really love about different side hustles that you can take on. It really is all about a new skill set. You have Uber, you have Lyft, those are side hustles for a lot of people. They found that, wow, we can make a lot of money. Unfortunately, you really don't develop your skill too much. You pick up passengers, right? Unless you're Asian, because you learn to drive better, and we could always do better at that. But, it is really important to really understand what a side hustle is and why we might want to consider doing multiple things just to be able to experience things. And so I want to ask you, Jane, from your perspective, why do you think a side hustle is important from what you see?
Well, especially just like I was saying, a side hustle tends to grow out of your creative interest, a hobby, a need. It might be that you just need more money, more income in addition to your main income source. Or like my husband's side hustle, he wanted to work on a project and he wanted to have that extra money to work on that project. So there are many reasons why people create a side hustle, but really for most of us who create side hustles, it's two reasons. One, you're either looking for that extra income to pad your main bread and butter job, or you're looking to expand and create because you don't know yet if it'll be successful. So you start it on the side.
Yes. And I hope you learned something coming in here as well. You learn some skill just logging into Zoom. There's so many people that haven't done anything with technology for whatever reason, but now they're really being pushed into staying connected by using mediums like what we're using in Zoom here. There's actually a few different things that I'm training people on right now, and I wanted to just highlight a few things here. Why now? Because now is really a disruptor. In business, they have a thing called a disruptor. It kind of disrupts the flow of business. Let me give you a good example. A disruptor is Amazon. I guarantee you that business started with just a spark. Because I remember when people were saying, "Oh, I'm working for this company called Amazon." Actually, do you remember what the first thing Amazon started with, Jane?
Books. From my experience, books.
Right.
Yeah.
And here now, really, you look at what they're challenging. They're challenging the delivery system. They're able to deliver things not even today, not next day, the same day. And that is
Except toilet paper, Jim.
except toilet paper. Although that is changing. That is changing very, very quickly. But the whole thing is that in today's economy, you've got to learn to equip yourself. And so now is a great time. There's a disruptor in here. It's a great time to transition. And so, I wanted to highlight a few different things here that is very, very important, is just why are you even here? Well, I hope that when you're tuning in, you're understanding the importance of really equipping yourself for what we call the new economy. A lot of people that are really stable in their job, guess what? They're shaken. They don't know how to really transition very well or work with situations, but that's okay because now they're being challenged in a good way to consider different things. That is really good. And I want to just get some of the obvious off the bat here. I wanted to pull up Jared here. And Jared Smith is our legal counsel as well for the Side Hustle Business Marketplace, as well as for myself, Walkstar Inc. As well. And so, Jared, where are you at right now? You're where?
I am in New Hampshire. I'm not actually sitting in front of the pond there, but
Yeah, we could have told people you were, except for two things. One is we saw a little bit of your green screen.
yeah.
The second is the fact that the leaves are not moving. Okay, so,
Yes.
but anyway, I just wanted to highlight from a legal point of view, right? What sort of things do you think are some things that are really important for people to consider in terms of business today? And what are you seeing in terms of the business environment today?
Well, initially, I think the first place to start is going to get a lot of advice from people that have experience in business. There's a lot of resources out there, and make sure that you have a business plan, that you've thought through what you want to get into and aren't just winging it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of great ideas, but when you start to put things down on paper and really think about it, then you start to see, well, maybe this isn't the best, or maybe there's better ways to do it. Do your research, do your market research, and see if it's really something that could fly, and then also something that you really want to do. From the legal perspective, you definitely want to do whatever you can to protect yourself and your your assets by forming a company of some sort. That's you don't have to.
Forming a company, don't most people form a company though?
Well, a lot of people, a lot of start, if you're starting up something, people just do it on their own as a solo sole proprietorship, but you don't have liability protection in that case. And so when you get into a contract, then you're personally liable for the contract. But if you have a company, then the company enters into the contract and you're personally protected.
Yeah. And are you finding that people do create entities? And in general, what do you think is happening out there?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are forming LLCs nowadays because they're pretty easy to set up, very easy to set up, have a lot of flexibility. You can be on your own, or you can have partners. You can decide how to divide up the ownership and management of the company. So there's a lot of flexibility there, and it provides you with the protection.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jared, for just commenting there. And, it's important to make sure that you do form a real company and that you get, help to be able to really set it up. There's a lot of things dealing with stocks, shares, tax implications. I'm not a tax consultant. I'm in the financial arena licensed, but you're going to want to be able to really consult professionals like Jared that are in the legal space to be able to register your entity. Thank you so much, Jared. I appreciate you joining us here today. And so one of the other things is that, as we move forward, we're going to be talking about a few things that are so important in this economy today. One is leadership, and leadership is very key in everything that you do. And when we talk about leadership, you can think about a lot of different things, but I'm going to be bringing up somebody that is an organization I represent. He represents it. His name is Jesse Bowen, Grandmaster Jesse Bowen, and he's done some incredible things here. He is part of the national, he's part of the American Martial Arts Alliance Now Foundation. He has an institute and foundation. We did our last event over in Las Vegas. This event, we were supposed to have also our event, but of course, a lot of things are changing. So we're evaluating that right now. This year, in his Masters and Pioneers book, his series, we're going to be featuring Chuck Norris along with hundreds of other grandmasters there. And so with that, I'd like for Jesse Bowen to be able to come up and just share a few thoughts about leadership and just real quickly also how even the martial arts arena has changed in terms of the new economy. So Jesse Bowen. So Jesse is coming up here. Here we go. And we have his, let's see, he's going to be starting his video here. So, all right. So Jesse is somebody, again, I've worked with for a while, and, we just want to be able to make sure that, that you understand how important certain things are within the new economy. Even one of these oldest things that we could be representing, which is martial arts, it's all about mindset and everything. So, Jesse, are you able to start your camera?
I'm trying, Jim. Can you hear me?
All right. No. All right. So anyway, Grandmaster Jesse Bowen, he has an incredible philosophy about life. He'll tell you a little bit about it. We're going to go ahead and go back to Jesse. We're going to bring up the next person, and Jesse, we'll bring you on when I see your picture flash on here. But he is the CEO of a company called Easy Card that I also represent as a publicist. And we have with us the founder of Easy Card, one of the best and first digital marketing cards, which many of you have seen. I know Greg will pull it up for us here in a little bit, my card. But Greg is also a professor of sociology and over at Greenville, Illinois. And, tell us a little bit about just your path, what you did for how many years, and why you are transitioning with the new economy. Greg Sanders.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to share my story briefly. And my story is not important, except that it might be very similar to yours or to other people that you know. As a sociologist, I would study historical trends and kind of how the economy shifts and changes over time. I remember in teaching a Social 101 class, I would teach about the shift from hunting and gathering cultures to settled civilizations, the agricultural revolution, the industrial revolution, and how basically you invented a wheel, or you invented fire, or you invented machines that ran on fossil fuel, and the whole world changed. Well, if you look post World War II in our country, manufacturing was king, and most people worked either on the farm, which was the historical basis for American society, or they worked for some kind of a large corporation or in industry. And now we're moving to an era of small business. And with technology like computers that enable you to work from home, more and more people are shifting to work at home. So my story very quickly was that I was a university professor for 30 years. I taught at Western Michigan University, first of all in Kalamazoo, Michigan. and then Hillsdale College in Michigan, and then for 25 years at Greenville University in Greenville, Illinois. So if you back up 4 years, it was a huge shift for me to leave behind my job, my tenure. I was the head of a department with 3 majors, and I left all of that, and I basically joined the new economy and started a business from home. So I just think it's exciting. It's not for everyone. For the side hustle, a lot of people, like Jane was talking about. By the way, Jane is so articulate and she expresses things so well. You know, it could be just something that you add for texture or contour or context, as she would say. For me, it's like adding icing on the cake, right? It's making your life a little spicy, giving it some color, giving some autonomy back to your life. But for me, I made a clean break and I was doing this, and then it's just like, I'm all in and I'm going to totally do something else.
You know, that's exciting to see why you were all in, right? And I know later you're going to talk about mindset, and you have just such a beautiful story on why you started Easy Card. I just want to see if you take a couple minutes just to share about your daughter and how she inspired you more, and just you know, with that, you know, I want all of us to think about just one of the first things that is so very important, why we do what we do, because that is going to be what is a catalyst for your passion that drives you to start something new. And so, Greg, if you can go ahead and just share with us just a couple minutes about that. Why did you continue on this? Why did you give up your tenureship? You know, maybe go just a little bit more into that.
Okay, may I share my screen? Would that be okay?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, you'll need to enable screen sharing.
Okay, I will do that.
Disabled.
Yeah,
right.
We're all learning a little bit about this. So this is exciting. Well, actually, while we do that, you know, we are going to come back to the story. I would like to go ahead and turn this over to Grandmaster Jesse Bowen. He is the founder of, again, the American Martial Arts Alliance and Institute. His last book, The Who's Who in the martial arts. You know, it's really exciting just to see almost 200 grandmasters, black belt artists all together as well in his event in Las Vegas. So Jesse, even in this martial arts thing where you would think, man, that is like a good foundation to people as a whole, you know, how do you feel like things need to change for them in the new economy, and why is it important for people to really start to adjust? Grandmaster Jesse Bowen.
Hey, Jim. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
All right, great. Awesome. Well, and thank you for the opportunity to actually be here and talk about the economy, talk about the martial arts, and give a view of where we are from the perspective in the martial arts community. You know, right now, everyone is sort of upside down. If you weren't heading towards technology, you've been shoved in it, and things are moving so fast and so quickly that you really don't know what to do. And then the martial arts has been pretty much a traditional world. This is the way they did it 200 years ago. This is the way we want to continue to do it. And martial artists have discovered that there has actually been a change. Everyone has discovered there's been a change. And how do you do things? I think the side hustle now becomes how many things I can do online. In the martial arts community, we're really encouraging martial artists to actually do live online classes, to set up their own platforms, to be able to offer these services. And guess what? It's being well received because the kids now, especially martial arts, is a huge part of kids. So again, this is a perfect learning base for it. So we've had the opportunity the past 3 weeks to engage in things that most people thought they would never be engaging in. You know, I've been doing technology training of virtual classes since about 2016. And, you know, we were already doing these things, but now, and they were going okay, but now since we have this situation here, martial arts schools all across the country are now adding this, you know, back into their training program, the virtual training. So I think this has been a real big impact. We're doing classes online. I have classes set up next week, teaching people how to publish their own book, whether it's martial arts or biography books. So, we have now been able to engage an audience that are looking for something to do, and becoming an author, especially if you have a story, you want to create a training manual, you want to do something, that's where it's going to be going. We're looking at our major event, which is in Vegas. If the option comes up that we are not able to do a live event, then we're looking at, okay, how do we turn this into a virtual event? And so my team, we've been coming up with so many creative ideas of how to turn this into a virtual event and have people to come on in a virtual event, show their award. They'll already have received their award. They'll come on and show their award. Their family, their students, their friends will have an opportunity where they may not have been able to come to Vegas to enjoy our event, but they'll have that opportunity that they will be able to enjoy it from a live virtual event, see their instructors with their awards. And this is going to be building momentum of motivation for individuals for their schools. So we're hoping that, let's say in June, it hasn't turned back around. So we're hoping by releasing the book on a virtual level, by an online event, such as a virtual celebration, that by their students, their families, their friends, past students will actually get a chance to see them get an award, see Chuck Norris live through a virtual encounter, some of the top martial artists across the country. We're hoping that this is going to be something that's going to really boost their martial arts business, so people can be excited about them and want to celebrate them.
And I know you actually are having a call here with the committee here with of Chuck Norris, so I want to be mindful of that real quick. The people that are not adapting with technology, right, in terms of martial arts, even that's a great profession. What are you going to see the pitfalls of that, or does it matter?
It really matters because things are going to change. Because if you're not reaching out to your clients right now through texting, through emails, primarily texting, then this, you have to keep that momentum going. Because if you don't keep technology in front of them, this is the reason why we're using the Easy Card, so we can use it as an app and a website, so we can keep them doing something and keeping them connected. So, I was with a group of individuals yesterday that they have really began to master the online training. One lady has over 60 appointments coming in to do an online virtual class. So most people are not getting 60 clients to come in to do a on-base class. So the virtual program is a good part. Now, people are not adapting to using the internet, using this virtual classroom, then they're going to really experience a lot of difficulty, and which they may not be able to recover. Because if we're down for more than 30 days to maintain the activity of our current students, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, well, thank you, Grandmaster Jesse Bowen. I want to be cognizant of your time. Great stuff. And we just wanted to make sure that people are aware that right now is a time for people to really tune in technology. Even martial artists, established people, oh man, this is the Bruce Lee sort of thing. They have to be able to get acclimated to what is going on in new economy. Thank you so much, Grandmaster Jesse Bowen. Now, I wanted to just share, why am I spending time having these people share their stories? These are CEOs of their entities. They also are represented by me as well as their publicists. But one of the things I want to highlight is the fact that, as you're starting a business, you're going to have your story. You're going to have what you're doing, why you're doing it. We're going to later talk about, again, more about leadership, also about some tools that you can use practically in this economy. But before we do that, I want to give one more example. I'm going to be inviting a couple of people up to the area here. We'll go ahead and have Derek Hardy. I'm going to go ahead and start his invite him up here as well. And Derek Hardy is somebody I really respect. I know him through a company called New Ed Score, and it's very exciting just to see things connect here. Now, the reason why I'm bringing him up here is, New Ed Score is a great company with great technology that is going to be really revolutionizing the way people hire people, showing them their skills and so forth and so on. And so you're going to want to know more about that. But Derek Hardy, I brought him in. Can you tell us what you do currently? And you are foundational to New Ed Score. Why are you choosing to do something else, even though you work for a very established company? Derek Hardy.
Hey, thanks for having me on the call. Yeah, basically I am a digital artist for just about 30 years now. I work for Apple at this particular time. I've been there going on 10 years or so. I've joined this wonderful company, New Ed, and we're building this platform, New Ed Score, which is really, really exciting. And like Jim said, it's going to revolutionize the way we do things educationally and so forth. I'm looking at this as a side hustle that will soon hopefully turn into a main hustle. The technology part of it is just the tip of the iceberg. This is the time where, as you can see now, we're doing virtual conferencing, in these times. But this will be probably the way of the future moving forward, because this is forcing big change throughout. I'll tell you a little bit about where we are developing this platform. We're really pushing forward to get this done. It's a wonderful thing to be able to provide an individual, whether it be young students, middle students, or young adults looking to change careers. This will be the platform to springboard them to that direction. There's a digital roadmap that we are going to implement with this system that will pretty much identify your personality, your learning style, because, back with the old model of education, there is a curriculum set in place, not really knowing who they're teaching and how they learn. So this changes that in a big way.
I love what you're doing. You see something innovative. Now, here's the thing. You're working for Apple. You could retire there, right? What caused you to look for something else, to do something else?
Well, it's always good to not, I don't want to say, you don't want to be complacent. You know what I mean? Yeah. You kind of want to just kind of spread your wings. The day-to-day is the same. Yes, I've had a great career there, but I'm getting up there in age. Things change. And you never know if you will become a part of that change or not. Yeah. So it's always good to have something to fall back on.
Right.
And I just felt that this was a perfect opportunity for me to kind of not only spread my wings, but spread my knowledge as well, and basically help with this business venture.
I think it's really good. I know we have to move on here, but
okay.
Really want to thank you so much for coming in, just sharing, just kind of your vision and why you do what you do. And
right.
Again, Derek Hardy with New Ed Score and also Apple. But, So I want to call in one other person here, also from New Ed Score. Just real briefly, I have Derek Tolliver. And it's so funny because the three companies happens to be all Derek's, And Derek O'Neill, we wanted to have him here. He's a founder, but he actually had, something he had to take care of with his family, very important, a life situation. But Derek O'Neill, we only have a couple minutes to give you here. but the whole thing is, with what you're doing, Derek Tolliver, this is great. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and where you see the economy going and why new technology is so important? Derek Tolliver. Oh, you're going to have to unmute yourself. I'll go. All right. So there we go. All right. Go ahead, Derek.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much too, Jim. Born and raised here in San Francisco and been a lifelong learner myself. Public schools in San Francisco, Stanford University, and then a 38-year career as a 7-time President's Club award-winning sales executive for medical device manufacturing companies as well as technology companies. So we had a lot of corporate training over that time period. And what I learned from being in corporate training after corporate training after corporate training is that most of the training that is going to help you be the most successful will be employer-directed training. So we at New Ed Score have that as a key cornerstone of what we do, except we enhance that corporate training by helping the corporate trainers and the employers understand how their employees learn the best, just as Derek Hardy stated earlier. So I think I take what I've learned on that corporate mission that I was on for the last 38 years, leading and directing and managing sales teams and strategic relationship executive teams. And it is going to really, I believe, enhance the direction of the company as we not only do that for corporations, but we do it for organizations, institutions like our military, like our school systems, both public and private, having those students better prepared for the 21st century.
And do you think that things have changed and it's important to understand how the new economy is functioning nowadays, today?
Absolutely, Jim.
Does the resume do it anymore? Just a resume?
I don't think so, because people, give you an example. A few months back, I was looking at a position with a company like Waste Management. Now, everybody kind of knows that they pick up your garbage. They needed an area manager to kind of interface with cities and counties and, kind of negotiate contracts. They had me and every candidate go online and answer 10 questions online via video. And they used that video to kind of screen the candidates. If you couldn't get online and you didn't know how to create a video at home, you were in trouble. Thank goodness I understood a little bit more about it, but I thought about all the candidates that don't have access to that information, that they don't know how to use a video. They don't know how to pause a video. They don't know how to answer the question. They don't know how to stop it, start it, just even get it to work properly. So I think that this new economy is going to hearken a quick call to action for everyone. I mean, you could be in public housing, but guess what? If we don't make sure that they have the hardware, the software, the knowledge, and the tools to be online, they're going to be at a tremendous disadvantage. And New Ed Score is about democratizing education content. And also, as Derek Hardy pointed out so specifically, we have to give them a digital roadmap based on how they learn. So we give them information that is suited to how they learn, not give them something that one size fits all. That we are no longer in that type of economy, in that type of world. And that's where we want to break down these barriers that, again, inhibit people's ability to be all that they can be.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. And again, it is so important to understand how the new economy is functioning. I hope we get it. If you're not on technology, if you don't understand this technology, well, that could be a blessing. One of the blessings of this current situation, you could look towards a positive. This could be one of the positives for you. And, I want to now talk about one of the key things, that is leadership in this economy here today. And we do have Jane Taff, who is a leadership and communications corporate trainer. She actually flies to different places, gets her meals paid for, and they give her a little bit of money to do that. That's all because, again, she's flexible in understanding the need for this. And the new economy, leadership is so important. So would you mind just educating us a little bit about leadership, please?
Absolutely. You know, traditional leadership, they think top down. That is a hierarchy. That's not necessarily leadership. We all know that from the great John Maxwell, leadership is influence. You could be the secretary and have more influence than the manager that you work for. And so leadership as a concept in the last, I would say 20 years has really taken off in its true understanding, because people are understanding that you could be a leader of your home, and some people are leaders of their homes and some people aren't. You could be the leader of a work team. So there are professional and personal implications of leadership now. Because we are so smart in thinking about the concepts of leadership, here's what we also know in today's economy, in the society, is self-leadership is really the key. It's not just knowing skills and tools to become a leader in the uh, hierarchy sense, but it's really, how do I lead myself so the outpouring of my learning, you actually want to follow me? Because if you think you're a leader and nobody's following you, you're not a leader. But if you are a leader and you compel, inspire, and assist people to follow you, now you're a leader. You have influence over them. You can speak into those areas where you support strengths and minimize weaknesses. Or as we get to do with some of the speakers, not only support weaknesses, minimize those weaknesses with our tools and methodologies. And so being a leader is in my mind right now so essential, but because it is shifting to the concept of self-leadership first, then you can have an outpouring of leadership that shows up in the real world.
Yeah. And, you know, this is really important. You know, are you leading yourself? You know, it starts with yourself, then your
Right.
home, and then everything else. And guaranteed leadership is all about even your character as well. And I want you to think about, as you're out there, as this economy has changed, are you building your character to where you are able to be resilient? Because there's a lot of change, and I think this is the beginning of some other things that we'll be seeing here soon. And so leadership is so very key, you know, and along with that, you know, just even the mindset that goes with that. But Jane, I want to thank you just so much for that. And, you know, we're going to have a little bit later, Greg Sanders, Dr. Sanders, come back. He is a sociologist professor talking about mindset here. But before that, I want to just let us introduce something to you. I'm going to share this this tool that Jane is using, and just a picture of it. And can you go ahead, as I share this, just describe what we're looking at here and why this is important for people to understand?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this, because this is a digital mind map. I actually use a program in order to get all your thoughts out on paper. For me, and you know this about me, Jim, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm a highly visual person. And because I I work with a lot of creatives, you have to land all those ideas somewhere. And so I started with, again, leading myself. How do I use the tool so that it helps me? And so you're looking at my Spark Your Brilliance method and the 3 branches of that methodology, and you can see very clearly one branch is mindset, the second branch is skill set, and the last branch is tool set. And then from there you have detail as to how. But first you're seeing, what is it? And this is a great way to get your brain on paper, because most of us never organize our thoughts, and we start with, it's just a whole jumble of ideas. And true to the mind mapping method, you organize those ideas so they start relating to each other, and now it's not quite so jumbled. It's organized, because when you're organized, you can do something, you can get in action when you see direction, when you see clarity. And so this is a tool that I plan to use with all of my clients so that we can get our brains down on paper.
Great. All right, keep it in your head, but get the concepts.
But get it out.
Great. I would go the other way, to be honest. But no, but that is very exciting. You know, thank you so much. And so this is a practical tool. Can you tell people what tool is this called that you just used to build?
Sure. It's called Concept Draw, and it's something that is sold on the open market. If you want to get a discount, you can talk to me about it, and I'm happy to set you up with a discount. But yeah, Concept Draw, it's a fantastic tool that we use regularly in the training space.
Awesome. Concept Draw. Put that down in your repertoire of tools. So, you know, so this is one tool that is very essential. The one thing I wanted to address here, and we have about 15 minutes, but is something that's called the story that's so important. And I want you to think about, what is your story? I'm going to be having, again, Dr. Sanders come up again. He is a founder of EasyCard, and EasyCard has done phenomenal. They've done over 10,000 cards now in 3.5 years. It is being capitalized. We're looking at the risk assessment. You know, investors are coming in very interested in this because of its global presence and also national implications right now. And so I'm very excited for this. And so Greg's going to be telling his story about EasyCard. And as he tells his story, I want you to think, what is your story in all this? Because, you know, we have to take time to really think about just what's most important to us. And our story is really what relays more than anything else, just what our company will become and its purpose. And people follow just the passion of a story. So right now, what I'm gonna do is share my screen again. And I'm gonna go ahead and have Dr. Easy just be able to share his story, because it's such a compelling story. And we have about 5 or 6 minutes for him to share some thoughts to make you really think about you as well, your story in the new economy. Greg Sanders.
Thank you, Jim. You know, I was listening to someone on the news yesterday talking about COVID, and some families are more greatly affected, maybe based on genetic inclination or weakness. And several people in this gentleman's family had passed away because of the COVID-19 affliction that we're all going through right now. And I thought, wow, some of us are just, you know, grateful that our families are safe and that we're healthy, but we hear of people and we're very close to people. But what would it be like to be in a family where several people had passed away? Well, that's really my story, because if you back up a couple of years, COVID-19, not exactly COVID, but that type of tragedy struck my family. Think about it. Normally, like, COVID strikes elderly and those who are marginalized in health more quickly than it affects other people. But if you were to lose a child, what would you feel like? How would that change your world? That is one of the most serious kinds of negative impacts that people can experience. What happens if you were to lose 2 children? What happens if you were to lose 3 children? That's my situation. In 2018, I lost 2 children, a daughter from heart disease and a son from an accident, mentally induced accident. I had lost another son from leukemia earlier than that. So I don't know where I am in my story, but I'm somewhere in the middle of my book. But chapters are sparked by a lot of different things. This is my EasyCard website. And as you can see, EasyCard is a mobile technology, and we're all about telling stories. The story of your business, the story of your family, the story of a son or daughter's wedding. That's kind of what we do. Can you show my EasyCard, Jim? So we go from the website to what an EasyCard actually looks like. You can see that it looks a little bit constricted and narrow on a wide screen, but it's because EasyCard is designed to fit on a phone. So it completely fills the home screen. This is my EasyCard, how to reach me. Now go to the next tab and show my daughter's EasyCard. So when my daughter passed away from a heart arrhythmia in the middle of the night, Laurelyn, I had started EasyCard with this young lady right here. She was my co-conspirator in getting EasyCard off the ground. We've been in business since 2016. A beautiful, beautiful person. And in August of 2018, she passed away. Go to the next tab. 2 months to the day after my daughter passed away, my son had an accident due to his schizophrenia, which was undiagnosed, and we still don't have that official diagnosis because we didn't know he was mentally ill until after he passed away, and we found his iPhone. When I think about why I do EasyCard, it's because I want people to have a different kind of life. I want people to move forward with their lives, and going mobile with a business is so important. Websites are important now, and that's why I started with my company's website. We do have a website, but it's also important to make your content mobile, because if you want to earn money and if you want to communicate effectively with people, you have to go mobile. So that's part of the modern mindset in the new economy. I love what Jane was saying. The tools are very important. The mindset is very important, and your skill set is very important. For the mindset, what you need to get in your head is, how do I get my content on a smartphone and onto other people's smartphones? Because most people don't use a widescreen computer anymore. They don't use even a laptop anymore, right? Yesterday's laptop is today's smartphone. Even people that know how to use a widescreen computer also have a smartphone. Everyone has a smartphone. That's why it's the indispensable target for any kind of marketing that you do in your business. So that's mindset. In terms of a skill set, I definitely would recommend EasyCard or a similar technology to make your business content mobile.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And I just wanted to highlight that just in today's economy, there's a lot of ways you can connect with people, but do you have one centralized way to connect with people? I'm going to be showing the EasyCard, for the Side Hustle Business Place I'm going to be launching, and it will serve as our primary website. And, I will find, I think you'll find that most people are on a mobile device. Now, why am I talking so much about technology right now? Because most people are not able to connect without it. That's just a fact. Greg Sanders, he's also a minister. His church was not able to meet. He was able to use EasyCard, get everyone to be able to get on with technology of Zoom and other things, to be able to see him in terms of, being able to have a Sunday service virtually. And so things are changing the way we do things. I know we have also a representative of the mayor of Elk Grove with us here. And, one of the things that I'm excited about always is to highlight, just great things. And I would like to go ahead and give, if you're able, are you able to share a few thoughts, Mary? I want to see if you are able to share. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and just unmute you. And I want to see, are you able to unmute yourself, Mary? And maybe just share a few thoughts? Okay. Well, she is not unmutable. But I want you to consider just the things that are most important in this economy right here. And today, we have a lot of people doing some great things. There's Frankie Woods with FDYC, Future Youth Development. Basically Frankie Future Youth Development, and what they are specializing in is really building a mobile unit to teach kids how to DJ, how to do media. Again, all that happens because he's picking up on technology. We're meeting. He's learning about how to connect, right? And the new economy, you're going to need certain skill sets. One's leadership. We talked about that. The second is your mindset, to have the right mindset. Along with that, your story. Just what is your story? What is the passion that really drives you to be innovative? We've given you practical examples of companies. New Ed Score brought up some people that work for different companies, very prominent companies, very established, but yet they're looking to do other things. I like Mr. Tolliver. He shared how one of the first things they did right now, it doesn't matter, they don't even want to see you until they see a video of you. If you don't know how to present, speak, and connect, probably you're going to have a harder time as this economy changes. We want to prepare you with those skill sets. Now, the whole thing is we're going to be meeting every single week. Definitely, as we close out here, I want to go ahead and bring up Jane Taff again, just to summarize some of the thoughts of what she's heard about today and things that might be helpful for you as well. So, Jane Taff, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jim. You know, really, when it comes down to it, as we are all, I'm going to call it sequestered, as we are all at home, you want to think, how can I make a pivot? Think through that concept, especially if you're a current business owner or even considering a side hustle. What we're talking about today is how do you survive, not only survive, but thrive in the new economy. So think that through. Do what Jared Smith said. Dream on paper, make a plan, and play. Play with ideas. Get on the web, get on Zoom, get a free account, throw a few people together and see what you can teach, what you can show. I love that Jesse Bowen was talking about how even his martial arts instructors, now in my mind, and I know yours too, Jim, you're thinking easy, show kids how to do specific techniques. I took martial arts. I know you probably took martial arts, Jim. We're Asian, what could we say?
Yes.
And you know, there are so many ways that we can do. So one, assess. Two, really plan and play. And then finally, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Your mental health is very important, that we make it through this time. And if you do those three things, I really guarantee we will come out of this stronger with more hope and more options.
I wanted to mention that that in this new economy, it's really, really important right now to be sensitive to the people that are going through a lot. I think we all are experiencing some change, but you know, think about yourself. How can you adapt? What is your story? What is your story going to be? What is it now? And I want you to think about what skills you can acquire. Right now, I know many people are not able to live their passion because they are stuck in what they know best. It is important to be able to think about just how to adjust in an economy like this. What better time to start looking into some things? Many of people are stuck at home right now, but consider what message they want to give to the world through their life, and equally important, you know, pretty much what difference their life can make to other people. That should hopefully propel you to be able to do something really miraculous, to be able to make some great changes, to take on some new possibilities as well. So I wanted to mention here, we'll be meeting again. We're looking at making this a weekly meeting. It will keep you in tune. Go to the Side Hustle Business Marketplace, the Side Hustle Business Marketplace on Facebook. Like that page. Stay connected. We're just starting to really create some great innovation. We've brought some great people on here to be able to give you some great information on mindset and skill set. And we are so very excited about what is happening in the new economy, but we are yet sobered by what is happening nationally. And, you know, let's look for the positive, because there's a lot of positives. There's less pollution because people are driving less. And we're really able to connect more with people, or we're looking for ways to connect. Technology, I think, for the first time in a long time, we're using to truly connect, not just convey a message. Those are two different things. And so I hope you're able to live your life on purpose, for purpose. Remember, everyone, you know, change is difficult. Everyone should really think about how they can adjust and change in this new economy. And, you know, how can you be great? I know there's greatness in all of you. You know, everyone does want to be great. However, there is a decision that people need to make, because there is a time to do what greatness requires. Rise up to the challenge. Join us on the Side Hustle Business Place, equipping you with the resources and skill set development for the new economy. Never forget where you came from, and really make decisions to head towards where you want to be. This is Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star, and I'm with the incredible co-host of mine. Of course, she is the wonderful sage. She is
Jane Taff.
And I want to thank also the Dr. Easy himself. And as you unmute yourself, Dr. Easy, just wanted to thank you for joining us here. And so any final words of wisdom just from your life, and thank you so much for your story, powerful story about your children, why you do what you do. Dr. Easy.
You can pull tools together and everything else, but most importantly is developing yourself and realizing that this is a personal journey, and to succeed, you've got to succeed in your own heart and life first.